Greetings, it's great to see you here. If you enjoy our content, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all new videos and updates. Thanks for your support. Reluctantly, Christina accepted that she would have to spend the next 2 hours in Zachar's company. She returned home, packed her belongings, and during that time, she tried to explain to her parents why she needed to leave again. As she waited for Zachar's arrival, she felt a mixture of apprehension and anticipation. When his car finally pulled into the yard, Christina's emotions were a blend of both relief and eagerness. "Hey," she greeted as she got into the car. "It's good to see you." "I didn't expect that kind of reaction," Zachar said, sounding surprised. "What happened?" "I love my parents, but sometimes it's quite challenging with them," Christina admitted. "Where have you been, if you don't mind me asking?" "I invited you to go rafting, remember?" "Oh, right," Christina nodded. "I remember now. But didn't you mention that Zhenya might join you?" "I said he might. He decided not to in the end." "I see," Christina said. "And let me guess, do you often receive these weekend calls?" "No, this is probably the third time something like this has happened." "Don't worry about it, and even if you couldn't make it, that would be perfectly fine. Everyone understands that it's the weekend, and we don't need to be stuck in the office." "That's a relief," Christina replied with a happy tone. "I wasn't sure if I could actually get away for the weekend." "You seemed a bit down," Zachar noted sympathetically. Christina nodded. "You know, whenever I'm with them, I can't help but feel like I'm doing something wrong. Like I don't deserve to pursue my dreams, or that my dreams are somehow misguided. My family and friends back home don't really support my choices. They want me to come back." "I can relate," Zachar smiled. "I'm also from a village. I have 2 siblings, and both of them still live there. So my parents were okay with me leaving for the city. In fact, they appreciate the fact that I'm here now. They can ask me to get medicines, accompany them to good hospitals, or even go shopping. I always bring them some tasty treats. My mom, for instance, loves trying out different types of cheeses, so there's no issue with them anymore. But my friends, they're not as close as before. They tend to see any gifts I bring as me showing off, trying to prove that I'm better than them. It can be a bit tiring. You must be quite the catch for the local girls, though, right? They probably want to marry you and move to the city." "Do the local girls want to move to the city for you?" "Not particularly," Christina chuckled. "My best friend Ella actually told me today that people in this city lack soul, that genuine relationships are hard to find there, and that I'll eventually become like that too. But my experience is different. Not everyone in the city is like that. Many people I know have left their hometowns." "I see," Zachar nodded. "Well, I usually come back only on weekends, and not every weekend at that. And as for the girls, they tend to stay closer to their friends," Zachar laughed. "So it's more about supporting their choices." Christina smiled. "Do your siblings have families of their own?" "Yes, definitely," Zachar replied. "In villages, people often get married early." "So your parents aren't pressuring you about it?" Christina asked with a hint of envy. "Christina, you can never have too many grandchildren. Are you the only child in your family?" "No," replied the girl. "I have a younger brother, but he's much like me. He's always considering leaving as well." "Well, I guess I get a bit less pressure than you and your brother. But believe me, my parents like to drop hints about getting serious." Christina's smile widened. Zachar had suddenly become much more relatable to her. Initially, she had thought he was just skilled at toying with others' emotions. However, it seemed that he struggled to navigate the challenges that the bustling city presented. Perhaps Zachar wasn't as negative as she had initially thought. As she compared Zachar and Ruslan in her mind again, Christina found herself leaning more towards Zakar. Despite Ruslan's seemingly more promising position, he remained a stranger to her. With Zakar, though, she felt a potential for mutual understanding. Maybe she should give him another chance. As their group was summoned to work due to an urgent change in client requirements, Christina couldn't fathom why such matters had to be handled on a Saturday. The perplexity wasn't limited to Christina alone, but a shared sentiment among the team. However, everyone tactfully abstained from vocalizing their bewilderment. They absorbed the client's requests in silence and subsequently departed for their respective homes. "And are we expected to work tomorrow too?" Christina inquired of Eugene. "Why?" he responded. "We're meeting the deadline. Enjoy your Sunday off, and I'll see everyone back on Monday." "Would you like a ride?" Zakar offered once they exited the building. "I know you live nearby, but why struggle with those bags?" Christina's gratitude manifested in a smile. "Thank you, I'd really appreciate that." Upon reaching her residence, Zakar disembarked to assist her with the bag. "Perhaps I should carry it up to your apartment," he suggested. "No," Christina declined politely. "Thank you, but I can handle it myself." "Oh, the young lovebirds," a familiar voice interjected teasingly. "I presumed you were off to visit your family, Christina, but it seems you were in a rush to reunite with our Zakar. No need to be clandestine, you too." Christina fixed her gaze on Ruslan. "You've been waiting here all day for me to arrive," she queried with a hint of annoyance. Ruslan shrugged casually. "Not really. I just lucked out getting 2 encounters in one day. I didn't wait around specifically. I was fairly certain you'd be here tomorrow, as you mentioned visiting your parents." Christina was at her parents' place, Zakar interjected. "It's just that we were called back to work unexpectedly and had to return early. But that's not your concern. Besides, you can't accuse me of concealing anything. If memory serves, you weren't exactly forthcoming when you were seeing the girl I was interested in. Now we're faced with a similar situation, and I'm not upset," Ruslan grinned. "A bit miffed maybe, but not upset. So I guess we're even." "Ruslan, this isn't a contest," Christina chimed in. "I've admitted my mistake multiple times. I should never have meddled in your relationship. I sincerely apologized for it, and I would never have even thought to do to you what you did to me. You can choose to believe it or not. As for the ride, I just gave Christina a lift because she came from her parents' house and was heading directly to work. I didn't think she should be hauling a heavy bag around. By the way, what are you doing here? Why did Christina think you were stalking her? Are you?" Zakar shook his head. "I don't have to chase after girls like you do to win their affection. My parents live around here. I dropped by this morning and happened to run into Christina. That's the extent of it. But I suppose it's a good thing we're all here together. Let's be frank. Christina, I like you. I'm not going to give up without a fight." Zachary chimed in, addressing Christina. "Don't you think you should ask her who she actually prefers? Maybe she can't stand either of us." Ruslan chuckled. "Are you attempting some last-minute charm offensive? Or have you finally accepted defeat and are looking for a way to bow out with a bit of dignity?" "Enough," Christina interjected firmly. "Your words are hurtful. Frankly, you're both being repulsive to listen to. Zakar was a great help to me today. He genuinely listened and supported me. He's a kind-hearted guy who made a mistake and genuinely regrets it. Yet you seem intent on constantly reminding him of it. I don't know how he puts up with you. I would have stopped interacting with you long ago." Ruslan smirked. "But Zakar here is quite the obedient one. He can't defy our fearless leader's directive to keep the peace within the team." Christina let out a weary sigh. "Listen, this morning I heard about how unwell my mother was. Then I met up with a friend who finally got her longtime boyfriend to propose. Now she's convinced that everyone around her should drop everything and focus on her wedding. After that, work called me in, and during the process of packing, I endured another round of being reminded what a terrible daughter I am. Then there was a business trip and a meeting with a client. And now you. I'm utterly drained, Ruslan. I'm not interested in being caught up in any of your disputes. I don't know if things will work out with Zakar or not. But one thing is certain, it won't work out with you.